Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here. Me today, once again, to do Toriko Chapter 268 review. Now, before I get started, I must say a few things. First of all, go down in the description box below and check out a guy called Jim on his channel, Jim's Nerd Nation. Now, what he's doing is that he's actually reviewing Toriko from the first chapter. And he's trying to catch up. And right now, he's actually at the Ice Hell arc of Toriko. And he's reviewing the chapters since the first chapter. So if you're fascinated by that, if you're intrigued by that, then go check him out in the description box down below. That's number one. Number two is that I must give big ups, a round of applause, Dumbledore style, to the Raichus on Patreon.com. They have made the goal possible wherein which someone will be winning a PlayStation 4. That's the way it is. So once again, big ups to the Raichus. Now, this chapter is very simple. Basically, and again, I need to make it real quick, but that's the way it is. The Billion Bird is cooked, alright? And it is distributed amongst the masses of the human world. And for the first time, even though they've been given, some food by Toriko, it's not a full-blown meal, and B, it was only enough to satiate few people, or all the people I should say, but only for a short amount of time. And finally, the Billion Bird was somehow distributed across the human world in these high-class restaurants, and they have actually made the Billion Bird taste delicious. Not so much in the sense in compared to other ingredients during the whole gourmet age, but more in the sense that it's been an entire year since people have not had a solid meal. And now, for the first time in a year, they've had a solid meal. And they give thanks to the Billion Bird. Also, Komatsu gives direct thanks to the Billion Bird, and he, of course, gives his appreciation. And he also explains how the creatures of the gourmet world probably didn't understand either the way the Billion Bird functioned, or they didn't understand its composition, or they didn't understand something about the Billion Bird, its essence, wherein which they couldn't actually find any good tasting meats in the Billion Bird. So basically, the Billion Bird itself it's not that it wasn't tasty, it was more so, it was beyond the comprehension of most of the creatures in the gourmet world. And the humans of the human world, at least like the top end chefs, they made it tasty. Now, props to them. Komatsu hugs the Billion Bird, yeah, come here, Brett, come here, yeah. And then the bird starts to cry, and the Billion Bird it pulls a ho-oh, and even though like the main body is still ugly as all hell, disgusting, yeah, the Billion Bird has these giant, massive, twinkling ho-oh wings that protrude from its side, and it just flies. It takes flight. Slifer the Sky Dragon, take flight. And what it does is that it actually starts to create more eggs. But these eggs are different. And the difference here that Coco explains, because after they take the eggs, and apparently according to Komatsu and Toriko, they stated that the egg was a special preparation ingredient. But when you look at what they did, they had all the eggs in like a jar, and I'm like, wait, like what did you do to the egg? Like, did you boil it? Did you... No, actually no, they couldn't have boiled it because they just cracked it open, like the yolk just spilled out. So they were raw eggs. So what did Komatsu do to the egg? I mean, he said specifically, and Toriko, they had a feeling, they could sense it, that the Billion Bird egg, this particular egg of the Billion Bird ho-oh, it was special ingredient. So they didn't do anything. Like, that threw me off. That's one thing in the chapter that I didn't quite understand, where they stated that it was special ingredient, but they did nothing to the egg when it came to actually, I mean, well, the one odd thing about the egg was that when they actually like open it, they put in like these wine glasses, and I'm like, okay, and it actually looks more of a liquid. So Toriko actually eats the egg. He drinks the egg, I should say. And he, of course, gourmet cells activate. He starts to get the hair going on. The hair actually grows. His nails grow, and his eyelashes grow. And everyone is looking like a drag queen, alright? Komatsu is looking like a straight up chick, which is scary. Sunny, his eyelashes look like skewers. Straight up, like beams. And even Coco looks completely different. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, even Komatsu, he's like, who are you? it was hilarious. But basically, the end of the chapter is Toriko making the Billion Bird his drink dish of his full course. So let's start off there. Fascinating. The drink dish. It's an egg, but you drink it. Apparently, it has the same density as corn syrup, which we know is not good for you, right? High fructose corn syrup is terrible for your body. We know this for a fact. But it tastes good. Well, at least in different forms, in different varieties. Now, the thing here, the Billion Bird's egg yolk thingy, the yolk is actually distributed across the entire egg. And it looks like golden dust. And it has a density where it actually didn't spill over the wine glass. And I guess it is actually worthy, because right now we actually see what he has for his full course. And I forgot some of these things too. He has the rainbow something, like the rainbow fruit as his dessert, which I think he should level up. The rainbow, I think that he actually rushed ahead, because the rainbow fruit, I think to me, it's okay, but when you look at the actual grand scheme of the world, there should be better desserts out there. Then there is the appetizer, the BB corn. It's not bad. This is not bad. It's not bad. What is good is the century soup. Oh, hell, absolutely. The century soup is actually really good. And then comes the drink, the Billion Bird egg, which apparently cleanses your body of almost all ailments. That's like the final thing that you actually consume, the drink. If you go in the order, that's the final thing that you actually consume. Now, what I must point out is that when you take a look at Akasa's full course, how his full course activates one's gourmet cells, I kind of compare Toriko to his full course, because Toriko's the main character, and when you think about it, if Toriko has a full course at the end of the series, then that full course should be able to activate your gourmet cells if you have any gourmet cells. So it should be the equivalent of the, so Toriko's full course should be the equivalent of Akasa's full course at the end of the story, at the end of the series. And the rainbow fruit just throws me off. I'm like, it's not really like, like he got that like way early on the series. So like, I don't know, man. Like the dessert, I think, needs a second look at. I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to actually like change ingredients. Can you do that? I have no idea. But it was kind of cool to actually see that he took the drink, he took the Billion Bird egg yolk, and he made that into his drink, which is a memento to his former master, Ichiryu. So that was cool. And we still haven't seen the Nitro in the damn house yet, which is throwing me off, because I'm like, yo, this dude's been there for how long now? We haven't addressed this guy. Toriko has not addressed this guy at all. And I'm seeing him like, yo, wait a second, hold on, wait, whoa. This dude, he's there. He's there. He has something to say, probably. It has something to say. And he's not being addressed at all by Toriko. So that's throwing me off big time. And the Billion Bird flew away. And I'm like, wait a second. So, we still need the Billion Bird, right? Even though humanity's fed for one day, we still need more Billion Birds to feed humanity. And even though, so maybe, since people will give thanks to the Billion Bird, there'll be various, so the ingredients will taste better. Because as opposed to giving eggs out, or as opposed to producing eggs via being frightened, it's doing so by appreciation. So it may change in the quality, and it probably will. So the overall rating for this week's chapter Toriko, I'm going to give it a good. I thought it was a good chapter Toriko. And we have made some leeway, which is fantastic. In Toriko, we always make a lot of leeway, and that's always a good thing. So I'm done. King Lightning. Be sure, of course, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day, and give thanks to Ho-Ho.